Hi, this is John with Performance Plus Tennis. Are you struggling to improve the performance of your second serve? If so, this video today is going to be really valuable for you because I'm going to take you through a series of concepts and drills that are going to really help you improve the performance of your second serve. You know, there's an old saying in tennis that a tennis player is only as good as his or her second serve, and that's a very true statement. So it's very, very important that you improve the performance of your second serve so that you can dictate points in play even when you're hitting a second serve. This lesson is going to really help you improve that part of your game. So if you're like most tennis players, your serve probably gets out of tune. And there are times when you just simply can't get your serve in the box. So what I like my students to do is experiment and discover what their baseline or reference serve is. And that is the level of serve that you can trust that you can get the serve in every single time. And that is your starting point for building your second serve. So for example, I'll just do a couple of simple serves here where I'm just placing the ball in the box. And these are really kind of my reference point serves, at least in the warm-up stage of getting ready to serve and play. I start out by warming up my serve with my baseline level of serving. And for everyone, you need to find that. And that's the area where you feel as if you can hit 10 serves in a row right in the box very, very comfortably. Now you might be thinking, geez, my second serve, my baseline serve is a lollipop, and the only way I can get 10 in is if I do this, and I just pop it in, and my opponents are crushing that second serve. Well, in that case, we need to improve how you're playing your second serve and then build that reference serve, that baseline serve, up to a higher performance. So the first thing we need to make sure you're doing is you're getting spin on your serve. And in order to really spin your serve, you've got to be in a continental grip or nearly a continental grip. So if you're not there, you got to get there. And while we're not going to go into the depths of that in this particular lesson, I encourage you to refer to the playlist on the serves here on the channel. They'll give you a lot more information on grips and all the other things that will help your performance. But the continental grip is really called a hammer grip. You can see there's a straight line from the top of my shoulder to the tip of the racket, and that's really where you want to be. And it's this grip that's going to now enable you to not only have an active full range of motion, but also enable you to spin the ball, which is going to help improve the performance of your second serve. So assuming that you have a continental grip and that you can spin your serve, the next thing we want to work on is accuracy. And oftentimes on the second serve, we end up being just content to get the ball in the box. But it's really important to be able to identify a strength or a weakness of your opponent and be able to play into that weakness. So what I've done over here is I've divided the service box in half. So the next thing you really want to do is start working on accuracy so that you can pinpoint and pick on the potential weaker side of your opponent. So now it's not just enough just to get 10 balls in the service box. Now we've got to get 10 balls in one side or the other. So you really want to work on the skill. Divide the court in half. I've got to consistently put that ball into the backhand part of the court and be able to at least get it to their backhand if indeed it's their backhand. That's the weak side. And really work on that and get that accuracy in there. And as you get more and more skillful, you can get closer and closer to the corners and the lines, and that's going to help you. But initially, at least be able to divide the court in half to be able to get to one side or the other. As you advance your skills, you can divide the court into thirds and start working on playing the serve into the body or playing it out wide or playing it down the middle, either way. But you want to continue to improve your accuracy. And as a side note, notice that I'm working on my serve in the ad court. And it's more important that you work on your serve in the ad court because there are more combinations of outcomes of a game. There are more important points that are played in the ad court than in the deuce court. So as an example, in the ad court, there are 6 different scenarios where you're either going to win or lose the game serving in the ad court. 30-40, 40-30, add in, add out, and 40-love and love-40. Those are all scoring combinations where the outcome of the game can be determined in the ad court. Conversely, in the deuce court, it's only 40-15 and 15-40. So when you're working on your serve and trying to build confidence in your second serve, I would spend 3/4 of the time in the ad court and 1/4 of your time practicing in the deuce court. So when you're practicing, what I recommend you do is you zero in on one half of the court for 5 minutes, probably 20 to 25 serves, and then go to the other half of the court. And then after you've done that for about 10 minutes, then blend the two together. So you're actually simulating what you do when you're playing. You're going to be selecting one half of the court or the other, forehand or backhand, and you're going to be doing that randomly as you go along. So you better be skillful at being able to select those targets when you're playing. So after you practice one side, then the other, for a period of time, Then blend the two together so you start to get comfortable. So when you're playing, you can select one side or the other and be confident in your serve. Another key element of the second serve that's so important is depth. So in addition to be able to target a forehand or a backhand side, it's also the ability to get your second serve to land deep in the court so that it keeps your opponent behind the baseline and gives them the sensation of playing defense rather than offense on your second serve. So what I've done over here is I've set up cones that really mark the last couple feet of the service box, and when I'm practicing, I'm going to work on trying to get the ball to travel with depth so it lands in that last section of the service box to create depth on my second serve. So get out and practice working on the depth and the direction of your serve, and that's going to help you play a much more effective second serve. Another key tip is to keep the same amount of racket head speed on your second serve as in your first. We want to use that racket head speed to create more spin on the second serve to get the ball to dive into the court. So if you're one of those players that's gets caught up on the second serve and changing the racket head speed and slowing down and hoping to get it in, your serve performance is going to go way down and you're going to make a lot more mistakes. So it's much better for you to keep up the same amount of racket head speed and learn how to use that racket head speed to spin the ball and get the ball to dive in the court. For example, I'm going to hit a first serve with a certain amount of racket head speed. It's probably not going to go in. It's gone. And on my second serve, I'm going to try to maintain the same amount of racket head speed, but I'm going to impart a lot of spin on the ball with the intent to get the ball to dive down into the court. So in that way, I didn't have to think about how much racket head speed to use. I just used the acceleration of the racket head to create the spin and get the ball to dive down in the court. The reality is that the difference between those two serves probably wasn't so much the trajectory that the ball left the racket, but more the amount of spin that was on the ball that affected its trajectory in flight to make it dive down in the court. So as you're practicing, really work on keeping the racket head speed up and developing a lot of spin on your ball. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you'll take these concepts and ideas to the court and really improve your second serve. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let us know if you'd like us to produce a particular video for you. And turn on your notifications because we're releasing new content every week to help you build your tennis game. And if you'd like to learn more, click on the link in the description down below to gain access to our free library of lessons on our website, where you can gain access to and understand all the principles you need to develop to achieve your full potential in tennis. Thanks again for watching today's lesson, and we'll see you in the next video.